This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome to Off the Break Podcast. I'm Cody, and with me is...
Captain America here.
You got really lucky with that quote.
Oh, so good, right?
It could have been one where he's like, "Get me my shield." You're just like,
Let's go.
yeah, it could have been that one.
Are you
to
ready for
start
Off the Break
with.
Podcast?
I know I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm always ready for Off the Break Podcast.
Kyle and Erik are joining me today with my special guest,
Hydra's going down.
Captain America. Hydra is going down. No, that's really fun. It's all about Avengers today.
I'm
Well,
not almost
as much
all
as we can
about.
say.
As much as
Kyle
I can
will
let
divulge.
on.
Yeah. So Kyle went and saw Avengers last night.
Yes, the first screening of
The early show.
evening. Oh, the
It was
earliest show I can get.
It was an event.
He is now broke because he owes his buddies so much presents and goodies for waiting in line for him
True.
all day.
True.
all
When
day,
did they line
people.
up?
They lined up 8 in the morning.
Oh my god. When did other people actually show up?
I think until the afternoon began.
So they probably could have showed up at like noon at least, and you would have been fine.
I mean, probably.
yeah,
but
but I
where's
guess
the
it's part
fun
of the
in that?
experience. Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna get that.
You gotta
we
make
really
it-
don't have that experience anymore.
You got to make
so
the
it's-
whole day.
Yeah.
Make it the whole day.
I was jealous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love being here at work, but I mean,
No,
if
I
I
get-
got
I
to
get
join
it.
in line for that, that would have been awesome.
And you
get
can't
it.
guarantee that you're going to be number one unless you get there to
Yeah.
be number one.
And we were all number one, that's for sure.
They were number ones, Erik.
You probably got there, just walked past everybody. It's like, yeah, my friends are up there. Sorry,
yeah,
guys,
but
my
weirdly,
friends.
weirdly
my friends
enough,
are up
people
there.
understand. Like that,
Oh, I'm sure.
that was kind of the funny thing about it. Like, you hope like you don't get mauled by like all of the hardcore nerds who have been waiting there before you, but like usually they understand or they're waiting for another time anyway, so it's
So
not
did
like
you,
they're
like-
getting in sooner.
Did you just like skip all the line up to the guy who scans your ticket and then you just go, or did you wait in the ticket line to get it scanned and then
We had to
join
wait
your
outside
friends?
the theater to get our tickets ripped or scanned or however it was done. So they wouldn't even let people in the building unless if they were somehow able to buy a ticket, which I doubt.
Even for other movies?
No, not for other movies, just for Endgame, I mean.
You could probably like, no, it's okay. I'm here to see Hellboy.
Yeah,
and then you
wink,
just-
wink.
and then you go into that theater.
Yeah, but I think people would buy into that. They're like, no, that's not.
Nobody
no one's
would be here for that
Hellboy.
right now.
Nobody was here for Hellboy when it opened.
I just realized as you guys are discussing this, this feels like so old school theater. Like with reserved seating,
definitely
people don't
is.
do this
Yeah.
anymore.
No,
We have an old school theater here.
Yeah.
not for much longer.
No.
From my sources, they're saying that will be changed, and we probably don't have to wait in lines anymore there. But no, I mean, I was
kind of fun to wait.
I was
in line.
But
actually-
they still will.
the last time I was able to wait a full day was for The Force Awakens, and that was a ton
Yeah.
of fun.
yeah.
And it was still fun to wait, even though it was
It just adds to
less
the whole
hours.
event.
It really does. Like, it really does add to that whole theater experience, which was what made Endgame also so special. On top of that was
Well, we
being
were.
with so many people who are so attached.
It was not fun for us because Kyle was sitting here in the office like freaking out, and then he's like,
He was
they were like they're texting me.
internally.
Yeah, he was
You could
getting a little
sense it.
jittery.
Yeah.
but
But then
presented himself fine.
his friends are like texting him, "We're playing Marvel trivia," and he's like, "I would be beating them right now."
I
We're like,
would be
"Short, Kyle."
wiping the
What question? What was the
floor.
last question?
Yeah.
Actually, there was a few
Let me
examples
play-
where I was
let me
like,
play
"Ooh,
from
maybe
here."
I wouldn't get that much good," but
I would be beating them
I would
now.
at least be in second or third, at least.
Like, oh, your job is keeping you from beating your buddies at Marvel trivia.
Oh no!
Oh no. Even though that's what we were doing was discussing Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
In the office, so it wasn't a far reach for you.
And that was still enjoyable too.
Yeah.
At least I still had that.
It was an important work meeting.
It was an
was.
important work meeting.
We were getting our last minute theories out.
Well, I wasn't.
Oh.
Erik was listening to our final theories.
I was nodding my head.
Yeah, you were in the meeting.
You were
sat
sort
there.
of there.
You were conscious during it, so that matters for something.
So if you had to sum up the entire day, the entire event, in one word, would it be marvelous?
Now it is. Emotional would definitely be the right word to use. I think no matter what kind of fan you are, there's going to be something or a couple of things out of this experience to where you're going to be so happy you got to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and if there's one word I've seen thrown around by every single like publication out there, it's probably that one.
Yeah, for sure. It's whether you're a diehard MCU fan or you just watch them on the occasion, or if you have read the comic books and that's how you became attached, there's going to be something for everyone to enjoy, whether it's emotional or whether it's just for the sake of having a good time. Like it hits on so many of those levels. And I think the emotional part is because of Endgame being such a love letter to the entire MCU, the past 10 years that we've had. Like there's actually a lot of, without giving anything away, there's a lot of great homages to like the past and to like what has made this universe so special, for better or for worse. Like they've even brought up some of the worst parts of it, which I found funny, but
You gotta own it.
yeah, exactly. They own for what they've done before, but there's a lot of great tributes to just about every part of this franchise. And I think being in a big event, having like this movie be such a big event is a big part of the reason why that's gonna land so well too.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't have your tickets now, I don't know what you're doing. Like you gotta find tickets. So
Well, Cody got her tickets a little
I
while
was-
ago.
yeah.
My arm was twisted and I got tickets.
Yeah,
to go today.
I do.
My
hope,
husband
I
made
do hope
me.
you get something
My
out
husband
of
and
it.
my dad.
I'm
They
curious to
made
see.
me.
That sounds
I'm curious to
amazing.
see how your dad's gonna
Yeah.
react to it.
I say they made me, but today I'm wearing my Captain
Yeah.
America shirt
Oh no,
from
you made me hint.
from
hint.
Paramount from when the first movie came out. So it is like
Oh,
a
the Paramount
movie
days.
theater distribution shirt, not like one you would go and get in Hot Topic.
Right, right.
So I'm rocking it today.
You've
I'm
been-
representing.
You're secretly wanting it. Secretly wanting Endgame.
I secretly wanted my one spoiler question that I asked you over and over again, and
I'm
you
not
won't
giving
tell
anything
me.
away.
So
Like,
you're gonna make me Google it now before I go.
oh,
You're
yeah,
not gonna
I'm telling
Google
you,
it.
please don't Google
You're
it.
like
I
2
might
hours
have
away from your
Googled
showtime.
it
at this
already.
Like, I'm
point.
okay if people watch like TV spots or trailers or whatever.
I'll forgive that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's fine. Like, it's marketing, and sometimes you can't get away from that. But like Googling like what happens at the end or seeing like the leaks, that's a for
I'm gonna ask
me
you
that's
one
a bit of a
question.
stress. That's a bit of
Yeah.
a stretch that makes me be like, really, like
I'm
you
gonna
can
ask you
can
one,
wait. Like it's
one
you will get
question.
that good experience out of it. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Was Kevin Feige Feige?
Yeah.
Feige. I will never remember that.
You're just like, oh,
Feige.
Was
God.
he?
Fugue.
Wasn't he stretching the truth a little bit when he said that all of the marketing was from like the first 20 minutes of the movie?
No,
Really?
nope, not stretching the truth. I mean,
Was he?
minus a small handful of things, but generally the entire marketing will be in the first 15 to 20 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, like they
I
kept
thought
their
maybe
word
he
on
was like
that.
kind of, you know.
Besides like the destruction scenes that you get of like Nebula and Rocket, I think there's like total like destruction, like volcano type stuff in the
I
background,
don't even remember.
like fire raining down. Like there had just been an explosion. I feel like those scenes are probably from further in the movie.
Maybe. Kyle said it starts out like right out of the gate really fast.
Yeah,
Bam, 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 bam.
yeah, I mean, definitely. The first act definitely does go a bit too fast if I was breaking down like the technical aspects of the movie. And in the writing is phenomenal, but there are a few plot holes that people can see. But I think because of how well this story is being told, especially in a fast 3-hour movie, it's handled so well that people are going to be able to look past that because they're wanting so much of an experience and so much stuff to happen in this movie that
Yeah.
it's all worthwhile.
Do you think any of our theories were close to being correct?
Yeah, close to being correct. I would actually.
What were our theories?
I have a couple, but I don't want to say just in case they're spoilery.
Yeah, that's probably a
Close
good
to being
idea.
correct.
But I would say that they're close to being correct.
It's awesome. We
So
might
I-
be
I do-
really good here.
I don't know how you guys will feel about the movie in general, but I do think when it's all said and done, when it ends the way it does, I do think you guys will walk up being like, at least I got that.
What, do you
I'm a
think
big ending guy.
Yeah.
I think-
And if I like the
Yeah.
ending, I'll probably.
I think you will.
I'll
I think you
probably
two
like it.
will at least appreciate how it ends.
I'm just so afraid I'm gonna be disappointed. And
Believe me, I am too. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know how you guys will think of
Yeah.
the movie as a whole,
just go in just as if it was any other movie.
but it's
no.
just
Just try. That's what I'm
just
gonna
at
do.
least try and do that. And I
Except the normal.
America here.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, you
so
better
fearful
cradle him now.
of your life, Captain
Cradle
America.
him now while you can.
Should I take him with me in my purse? Like have him in there?
It's gonna be like the most emotional moment
You
of the
can
movie,
if you,
and then you're gonna bump
you
his
can
button.
if you want. That would be
And it'll be
kind of
like-
funny.
Hydra's here.
I think for a fan event movie, though, I do think when it's all said and done, this isn't going to have like a huge backlash. This isn't going to be like a Last Jedi type situation. I think there's going to be a big majority where people in the end are going to be like, I am satisfied with this movie.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's not
And
easy
that's
to
not
do,
just for like
but-
casual fans, but just for like hardcore fans, for diehards such as myself. Like that, it was more than what I could have asked for. And that's just amazing to me that
Well,
that's able to happen.
I got. What time is it? I don't know. Like
12:40.
like 20, 30 hours before I see it.
I have a couple.
Too many.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the
hours.
theater until like 2:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh,
Well,
three. I
Sunday
mean,
morning
We
technically.
are
3
gonna-
hours is a long time, but it really
Right.
will fly fast.
I think-
I wouldn't worry too much about like bathroom breaks.
I just hope I don't end up falling asleep. Like,
Because
I
you're
hope
so
you
going the
don't.
late one, aren't you?
well, yeah, and like
Drink your
it's-
coffee, man.
I don't know. I fell asleep during both Ant-Man movies.
I could
Not
see
be-
I can't
why.
believe that.
The movies are fine, but it was just late, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to see this.
Oh yeah, this is my bedtime.
The Ant-Man movies are like the palate cleansers that you probably would usually fall asleep to anyway. Not to be mean to those movies because they're solid, but I get it. For a late showing with those movies, I get it.
Gonna sleep in, chug a lot of caffeine, and stare directly into lights.
But
I learned that's what the
Yeah.
guy who did that 59-hour MCU marathon.
You were telling me about that. Yeah.
I read this thing. The guy documented the whole thing, took pictures, gave updates, and he met with a sleep doctor beforehand. And says if you get tired, the best thing you can do is stare into lights, I guess. So
Well, now his eyesight's just going to be
Ruined.
worse.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of tired right now. I think it's just the end of a really long week, so I'm chugging Red Bull. Like I am pumped up for this. So pumped
At
up.
least you will be
Yeah,
pumped up during that
Endgame.
3-hour stretch.
Yeah.
At least awake for it. Maybe not pumped up, but
I am
awake
really
for it.
trying to get super pumped up, but I feel like
I think once you're in the seat, you will feel it. Because like I was
Yeah.
jittery.
you said it yourself. Every time you
throughout
see the little
work.
Marvel thing come up, then you
The-
get excited.
the
Yeah.
Marvel comic book
Yeah.
flutter at the beginning,
Mhm.
that's when I get excited.
Yeah.
But this one I'm just really so hesitant. Like I feel like I'm being drugged a little.
Why?
I don't
she
know.
just
It's
doesn't
a weird...
want her favorite character to have a terrible ending. That's
Yeah.
why.
He probably has a great send up. They're not going to give him a terrible ending. Cap is like probably 80% of people's
I
favorite
don't trust
Avenger.
them. I just
You
I
don't
trust them.
Oh my god, that's not correct.
I just don't trust them.
I
to
don't
give me-
know. After 10 years of solid movie making, I just don't know if
No.
I can trust them.
I don't love what they did with Captain America and Civil War, and I don't. So I don't.
Blasphemy to me.
I don't love what they did there, so I don't trust them.
I don't think
That's-
about it like that. It's just, it is what it is. It happened.
Eric's just
that's
like,
the
I'm just
story.
here to have a good time.
I just want to
Eric's-
see the next part of the story.
At least Eric's like so neutral to where I
Right.
don't get angry.
I just want a good movie. I just want to have a fun time at the theater, and I probably will have that.
You will. I mean, I think people can see this movie regardless of the amount of people that they're around, but it really does make the experience so much better to where you will have a great time in kind of like a once in a lifetime type of
Oh,
movie.
the enthusiasm is going to be contagious.
Yeah.
it always is. Like
It always is,
like
for sure.
Black Panther and especially Infinity War, but then this is just like even more like
This
a
is
whole new
next
level.
It's gonna break box office records for a reason.
I wish I was
Yeah.
more enthusiastic about it. I'm so willing myself to be like, yeah, get there. But I'm like,
Everyone
no.
around you is gonna be
Just don't even think about it.
just
Just
cheering
go
and
along
hollering
for the
and
ride.
just in it,
wait
and
in
you're just gonna
line,
be shaking in your
sit
chair.
down, do whatever you gotta do, and then when the movie actually starts, you'll be in it. It's the
Okay.
magic of movies.
I can't wait to.
Once
we're
the
gonna
lights
have,
go down and you're in it,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
so
in it.
nervous for your reaction.
I know we're gonna have a podcast on
Oh my
Tuesday
god,
to talk
I'm
about
so
this.
scared.
Oh, God.
Eric's I'll be fine with. Like I feel like with Eric's I'll be fine with. Yours, Cody, I am
Well,
terrified.
this shows us
contrarian Cody.
because on Last Jedi, I really didn't like what they did with it, and
That one I'm
Eric
fine
liked it, but I didn't like it because I didn't like what they did with characters. So now I'm worried about what they're gonna do with my Captain America
I
character.
don't know.
I love him as much as
He's
I
not
liked
your
Luke
character.
Skywalker. He is in my brain. He's mine.
That's the
That's a bit weird.
that's the possessive that's the possessiveness that makes fandoms toxic.
Ooh.
Well, I don't go
You
out
gotta
on the
check
internet
that.
and
You
be
gotta
like,
check it.
everybody that doesn't agree with me sucks at life.
Well, I would hope not.
Well, at least she doesn't do that. It could be worse.
Yeah.
No, it's
If you love somebody, let them go.
or not.
Down with the MCU is my handle on 4chan.
We can't trust them anymore.
Hashtag
Don't
not my
trust-
cap.
Yeah,
Don't
not my
trust
cap. Don't trust MCU.
I mean,
Russo brothers gone forever.
this movie. That's all I can say, because if I do talk more about it, like, I will go to spoiler territory. But it's so amazing what they accomplished
I
with
just
this.
want
It's
to know
incredible.
how was it how is the Hawkeye character moved?
You're
in
gonna
different-
find out in like an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
it's literally an hour and a half.
These are the things on my mind. Does
I
Captain
have
America
heard.
live? Number one.
I have heard that our theater is pretty packed right now. Like, it's packed for like 11 a.m. showing, so you might
Oh,
want to get there
no.
pretty soon.
I'm gonna have to get there super early.
Yeah, especially if you want concessions and stuff, because it's getting pretty backed up.
Ugh. Ugh.
No concessions, no drinks. You need to fast.
I
this
actually
thing.
caved
Well, I
and
guess you
got
had
myself
nachos.
nachos, and I was fine throughout the whole thing.
Weren't you super thirsty?
No,
Nachos, I feel like would dry your mouth out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I was just so.
I got-
I could have been so into the movie that I just didn't even.
I
think
forgot
of it.
nachos were a thing, and I randomly got them when I went and saw
nachos were a thing.
Bad Times at the El Royale, and I was eating them, and I was like, I don't like eating these.
I mean,
feel
it's-
like
it's just
everybody
a-
around me
I
hates
mean, it's a bag
me
of
right now.
Tostitos and fake cheese. Like, there's nothing to like about it.
No, I mean like every bite.
You paid yeah,
I
you paid
love
$7 of
nachos.
regret.
and then I couldn't get a good cheese to jalapeno to chip ratio,
The jalapenos are not real, so I don't know why you did that.
because I like a burning sensation in my mouth.
That's terrible. That's horrible. I hate jalapenos for that reason.
That sounded weird too.
I like a burning sensation in my mouth.
It's in my blood. Can't help it.
Ew.
Well,
Erik.
I can't stress enough. Go see Endgame. Have a great time. Like, people are going to enjoy themselves.
We'll find out what real opinions
Most
are later.
Really?
I will tweet it out if it's not good.
Talk-
Did you just say
non-toxic
we'll
fan,
find
huh?
out what real opinions
yeah.
are?
We always knew Kyle's gonna like it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no.
I think they could have pooped on screen. Kyle would have been like, "That's an amazing bomb right there."
You know, that poop was pretty darn good.
Yeah, the special effects were amazing on it. I even saw steam. Like, he's just so enthusiastic about it.
Was
I'm
it a warm poop?
Well, you would think if it just happened, it would be.
Well,
Yeah, poop tends to be warm.
poop tends
Unless
to be
it's
warm.
like an Arctic area and then it freezes instantly.
Well, that is how weather works.
Weather.
Oh, the weather.
But it doesn't appear that they're there. Anyways, Kyle was going to be overly enthusiastic and probably always love it. I would be so shocked if he came back and be like, guys, that was terrible.
Like, I
I
can't
don't
believe
think
I
he's
can't believe
capable
I'm
of
saying
that.
this, but
Yeah.
it kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah. I just don't
Something
think
would be seriously wrong
Kyle would
if
be
that happened.
You could do it. You just couldn't.
Oh, I've been able to do it with past MCU films. Like, I mean, I've talked about before, like, I don't like Thor: The Dark World, or that Captain Marvel was just a very
Bland.
underwhelming movie
Yeah.
to me. But I mean, I do have like partial fanboyism, obviously, but
Yeah.
I'm able to. do feel like I am capable of being able to decipher between the two. I hope so, anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be really tough.
It'd be tough, but I feel
Yeah.
like I can do it.
What would they had to have done to like make it bad for you? Like, would it be bad special effects? Would it be just terrible bland writing like Captain Marvel, or would they have to like kill certain characters? Or
No, it would just be the technical stuff. If all the technical stuff fell flat and it just ended up being a dry, boring movie that doesn't conclude in a satisfying
That would
way.
never happen.
Which I mean, it surpassed my expectations. Like, I was hoping for
With something
a
as
decent
big
ending,
as
but I got something way more out of
with
it.
something as big as Endgame and like in the Star Wars movies, they have to go through so many like just like peer review, I guess. Like, they have to know that they have something good, and
Right.
they're not gonna. I don't think that they would fumble that bad with something this huge.
That's another positive that I took away from this, is that, as I was saying, like, it's a love letter to the MCU. Like, the Russo brothers and the writing duo that they partner with, like, clearly understand like what was so special about Infinity War, as well as the past MCU movies that we've had. Like, why these movies are so special for generations upon generations of people. And it shows, like, it really does show, like, the love that has been brought into these movies the past 10 years.
Who has the most screen time? Who has the least amount of screen time?
He doesn't
I
want to
can't
tell
tell you
us
that.
because he
No.
doesn't want to give it away.
No,
What is
Okay,
that
wait.
giving away?
That maybe somebody dies early on in the movie because they would have minimal amount of screen time because it was like
Not necessarily.
like Loki.
Like
and
if
Infinity War.
I close my eyes and I think I could have, I would not be surprised if like Nebula or Rocket got quote unquote like shortchanged just because I'm assuming they're
Or he
focusing on like the OG people.
He could tease you and say the least screen time is like Spider-Man because he comes back. You know, like all the guys pop up at the end. Boop, they're alive.
That is a strange thing.
They
I
would
wonder how much time
technically
they're going to
have-
dedicate to like bringing everybody back.
Right.
If that's like at the very end, it's like this beautiful montage and
Of-
these people are like
of the
reverse
dust people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
coming back to their-
to-
Dust comes from the air and creates people.
I don't know. I'm excited.
I
talking about
can-
it now that it's actually here. I'm excited. I it's hard for me to like get super hyped up if I'm like still a week out.
I have a good question, and I don't think it's spoiling anything if you tell us.
I can't.
How was
You go ahead. I was just going to
How
answer Eric's question,
was
at least
the
part of it.
Stan Lee cameo? Was it?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it's his last one.
Is it his last one? I'm pretty sure
It
it's
is
his
the
last
very
one.
last Stan
That's what
Lee
I've heard.
cameo.
I'm not positive though.
I mean, it's probably great.
Is
It's
it
probably good.
touching like it was in Spider-Verse, or is it a quick funny thing where you're like, oh yeah, there's our Stan the Man.
It's our Stan the Man.
Okay, it's just a quick. It's not like a loving tribute.
They probably didn't know it was gonna be his last one at the time. They probably just shot it.
I think
and
they shot a bunch of
with the
random
context-
ones.
They shot a bunch before because they found out that he was starting to really
go downhill.
go. Yeah, unfortunately. So they made sure to
I would like
finish
if
them
just
all off as fast as possible.
not trying to like make it like an actual like a memorial. Just an average Stanley doing his thing, just having a funny line, because that's how he always was. And I feel like that's the best way to go out.
That's a good point, Eric. That's a good point.
Next up is Rebecca. It's always gonna be my favorite one.
And I can't
So inappropriate.
and I can't say like the people who have the most screen time is the big three. I would
Who's
say
the third? Thor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man.
Yeah, I would say they have the most screen time. That's not the spoiler by any means. Like
Right.
that's just
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
What?
What? What?
yeah, the big three.
I don't even need to
Good.
see
Now
this.
With the
Captain
most
America,
movies.
you're just telling me he dies at the very, very, very end. He makes it all the way through. Bam, gone.
When he nobly sacrifices himself. Yeah.
Well, he always nobly sacrifices himself. I'm
Yeah,
not
and
surprised
now
that would be the way.
He always sacrifices, but not his actual life, and now he's going to.
He tries every time.
Yeah, and now he's finally gonna succeed.
I love watching this. You guys will find out later. I just enjoy watching this. I told you I cannot give anything away for
Captain
this.
America here.
Oh, you'll always be here for me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I can't give spoilers for this one. I'm sorry. I gotta hide it.
Speaking of spoilers,
Yeah.
that should be a good. That'll be an interesting topic. So
Right.
people have probably gathered this by now, but Cody likes to know
The ending.
what happens before she goes into something.
Before I
which
invest my
seems
emotions
so
into
polar
it.
opposite from like the general feeling where it's like, no, you can't. Spoilers. You have to, be paranoid and look everywhere. Go in blind. I feel like those are totally opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm just wondering why. Why do you like to know what happens before?
Let's indulge.
Let's know.
Shall we?
Well,
What is your thought process? What's your rationale?
I like if I feel like I'm emotionally invested already, which I am with Captain America and all the
Yeah.
others. I'm emotionally invested, and for me, that's like my fear that he's gonna die is like way overruling everything. Like I don't want to go see this movie because of it. It's dampening my enthusiasm a lot, and so
I get it.
okay, so it's like keeping me from really enjoying it. So if I can take that off the table, if I know what movie I'm getting, if I'm getting this is his farewell and I should enjoy the last minutes I can, or
Okay.
if I know oh, he's gonna be okay at the end. Let's just not worry about it and like watch everything else unfold.
So like
it
example,
takes it off the table.
you could be like watching it and like there could be some crazy big twist in the opening scene, but your mind's just gonna be like, oh, that's crazy, but cap.
Yeah, I can't focus on what is happening.
That makes sense.
Because I'm so invested in what I think is gonna happen. So every time something happens, I'm like, is this it? Is this where he's gonna die? But if I knew when that was coming, I could be like, okay, prepare myself. It's coming up soon, and not like worry the whole time.
For me, that seems so backwards to me because it does. Like, because I don't want to know something, and in the back of my mind, just be waiting for that thing to happen. Because that'll take away from me diving into possibly a good story being told. And
it's because her love for Cap is so strong.
Yeah,
she can't help
and I
it.
wouldn't be waiting for it to happen.
I would
have,
personally.
I would let it go by then, and then just this is what it is now.
I would just be waiting throughout the whole movie for that one thing to happen instead of looking at like the outer scope of like of a movie's entire story, whether that be for an Avengers movie or for something else. Yeah, I just don't. I just don't see it in the way that you do. Just because I'd rather just enjoy like the overarching story and what these characters are going through instead of just waiting for just this one plot point to happen.
I don't like surprises. I don't love anticipation. It just causes anxiety. So I would rather.
But it doesn't have to be.
I know, but
Sure,
it
it's not
does.
just excitement.
But so I would rather just like let all that go and just like let it happen, but know that what the thing that's causing me the most anxiety is like I know what it is.
Yeah, my brain is just not wired in that
I get
way.
it.
Like I don't get anxiety.
I haven't done this since, but back 2007 when I got the last Harry Potter book, I flipped to the very last page. I didn't read it, but I looked. I was looking for the names. I was like, okay, if I see the Harry's name or Ron's name, then they're probably still alive, right?
Yeah.
And I did that. Saw probably all three of their names. I was like, oh, and then I went back and I read it.
Relaxing.
I didn't want to know specifically what happens.
Right.
I didn't want to like. I mean, it probably wouldn't make sense either if you just read the last page of like an 800-page book. But
I do. That
I
sometimes.
get it. I haven't done that since because I don't know. I like not knowing.
That's so funny that you mentioned that book because I did that same thing when I got it and I regret it.
Really?
I legitimately regret doing that.
I've never regretted.
I did that and I was like,
it's never
crap, why did I
ruined
do
it
that?
for
That would have
me.
been awesome just to like read that and close the book and be like, I am so glad I
feel like it just in the
did
years.
not know that.
I just don't.
The book's still great, but I do remember looking back, I was like, man,
Death
I regret
is
that.
kind of overrated when it comes to fictional characters. Because the cliche is about the journey, not the end.
Overrated.
The farewell,
Keep going.
the actual farewell is the more important part. So like, death's a farewell, but they very well could have a farewell that doesn't involve them dying. That's what I'm excited for. I don't want to spoil that. If somebody told me like, oh, rip Iron Man, and I thought they were being serious, it would suck. But I don't know how he's gonna go out. So
Sure.
if somebody were like told me specifically, like I was forced to listen to somebody summarize the big events, then I'd be pretty pissed.
It could just vary on the type of
I'd
movie
be like,
too.
oh, great.
Like I remember
Now I don't even have to go see it.
No, I will still go see it, and I will enjoy all the other parts.
Like I remember last
it.
year, I got a plot point spoiled for me for 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
What happened?
Well, I
Who
guess
spoiled it?
It's a random movie that somebody would spoil.
Well, it was someone in the office.
Oh,
that ended up spoiling it for me.
I remember that.
I don't want to
was-
call them out. I mean, they're not going to listen, but I'm not going to call them out on it. But
Oh.
it was. We're figuring out who it
I was
is
like,
now.
did I do it? Because I could see myself.
No, I don't even know if you saw that one or not. But I remember thinking about that plot point
remember
like
that.
happening. Like the story still worked for me, but I remember in the back of my mind being like, yeah, but when's this plot point gonna happen? And it bugged me throughout the whole movie.
Oh. I just let it go after that. I'm like, okay, good.
Just gotta go.
what
Well,
it
I
is.
mean, like once it happens, I'll be like, well, it happened. Like I can't do anything else now.
So
But
I think the last thing I kind of like tried to spoil for myself a little bit was remember that movie Sisters Brothers with Joaquin Phoenix that came out?
Yeah.
oh right,
Well, we got the book here in the office
Oh,
for
yeah.
promotional materials.
yeah.
And I was like, that movie looks good. I don't know if it's my kind of movie because I don't like a lot of killing and shoot 'em, you know.
Not a Western fan.
Not really.
But
But
yeah,
I was
killing
like,
an Endgame.
I know there's gonna be. That's why. Again, we're not coming back to that.
I know,
We'll find out. But I did flip to the end of the book and kind of read the last few pages, and it was so good, like so interesting, that I was like, I have to see this movie now. I haven't watched it yet, but
I
it
get
made
it.
me actually want to
I
see the
get
movie
it.
more.
That's also an interesting point too, because like our books technically spoilers. I wouldn't say so because it's coming from source material. Like you can choose to read it or not.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this movie's coming out. I should read the book beforehand."
Yeah, or sometimes people watch the movies and are like, "Wow, maybe I should read the book and
Right.
compare the two." Like you can
I've done that.
do it either way. Like books, I don't feel like are
But it,
technically a spoiler because it's your own
Game of
it's
Thrones fans would
Right.
disagree with you.
true.
Yes.
I mean, they definitely would, but that's more of a choice instead of like falling into like convincing yourself to
I get
go
it.
into spoiler
Right.
territory.
So when I was a little on the fence about it, but the idea of where they were in the trailers to where the book ends and has their relationship be, I was like, oh, that's so interesting. So now it made me want to see the movie more. I like knowing the ending because then I like dissecting the plot as you go to pick up the small details.
Man, I just would rather watch it from beginning to end without knowing the end first and then dissect it.
And then watch it again and be like, that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it now.
That's
what I
I did that in
But-
Endgame, and that
Right.
was fantastic to do.
I'm just gonna Google one thing before I go see it, and then I'll be fine.
Like,
No.
please don't for this one.
Okay, I won't do it.
You will.
I won't do
What
it.
would-
You're looking.
would you
You're
have
eyeing Erik.
What
I
would,
can
what would,
see it.
what would you
Do
have
it.
Googled?
Does Captain America die?
Oh.
Of course.
Good lord.
That's the only thing I care
it's-
You think
about.
you're gonna
You
Google
have
that
an
and Google
hour
would just have like
left.
yes or no at the top?
And then I would Google how.
Ugh.
That's awful. It's also like a decision for
The
you
entire
to do
plot
that
is up
as
on
well.
his Wikipedia page now.
Like there's art.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't want to read the entire plot. I just want to know
Oh, it's a
that
big
one.
one.
At least you don't
part.
want to read the entire plot.
No, I do
guess
want
that's
some surprises.
no, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that because I think I was on there. I don't know, just on the Endgame Wikipedia page, and I was scrolling, and then I saw like Captain America or Steve
Yeah.
in the plot. I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole plot's here.
You're like, what am I doing?
Scroll. That's too close.
Panic.
I have to be careful.
I mean, there's already articles and videos that are like, talking about the ending for this or whatever. It's your own choice to go check it out. But personally, I like the anticipation. I like trying to go in as blind as possible for certain movies. And I definitely did that for Endgame. And I'm so happy because like my enthusiasm and my joy for the
Right.
movie probably like elevated.
I think I only do this when I'm emotionally invested. Like
That's good though.
For
That's good that these
episode
movies are
9,
doing that.
I have no desire. I like don't care what happens. So I'm like, okay, this
Them's
should be really
fighting
fun.
words.
No, but I'm not emotionally invested in any of those characters like I was with Luke Skywalker, and so now I'm.
He's still there.
I know, but now I'm like, okay, this will be a good journey. But I'm so emotionally attached and invested in Captain America that I just need to know ahead of time.
No,
But
that's not how life works.
so it's not every big movie, and it's not every franchise.
No, of course it's not every. Yeah, I mean me, Mondays or Sunday, but I'm seeing it on Monday. The upcoming Game of Thrones episode is like a huge thing that people know is like
Right.
stuff's going down.
That's crazy that we're getting
People-
Avengers and Game
Yeah,
of Thrones
yeah.
in a weekend.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
sitting.
it's
I'm
an
gonna be
incredible
sitting in the
time.
theater. I'm gonna be like, I'm really excited for this, but my mind's gonna be on Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
If I'm being totally honest, but no, I get it.
You
And that's
could
that's
Google-
okay.
Like, do you have a certain character on Game of Thrones you just
All
love?
of them.
All of them?
All of them.
And you don't care to know which ones?
No, I need to. That's something. I know I just had a whole spiel about death
Right.
being overrated. I'm walking it back immediately. When it comes to this, oh man, when it comes to this, if
Is there
somebody,
Is there somebody you're hoping that like makes it through, like that you
I
think might be?
I don't know. I genuinely do not have thoughts on I want this person to live. I want this person to die.
Right.
There are characters I know are gonna die that I love, and it's gonna be heartbreaking. But it is what
Like
it
who?
is, and
Who do you know is gonna die?
I'm not gonna say.
I was just wondering. I've not seen this show since the second episode.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, then you
But
would, then it wouldn't make any sense anyway.
I'm just,
Oh, no,
yeah,
I-
exactly. That's
I've
why
not
I'm laughing.
seen it. I still follow all the plot. I read the plot synopsises for all the.
But what do you get out of that though? Like you're not
The important
watching the show.
points.
You're not. talking. Are you talking to other Game of Thrones fans about it then? And
I just know what the story is.
but I just don't.
know what
if
it
you're,
is.
if you're watching,
That
that's
breaks me.
man. I don't know. I don't know
I need
what
to
to say
see
to
all
that.
the rape and murder and stuff to know, like, at the end, this person won the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
No, I don't need
Yes,
to
you do.
see all that those
Yes, you do.
details.
Yes, you do.
I just need to know who wins at the end.
Nobody's gonna win.
Game of Thrones.
It's not a
Is
game
that
you can win.
Is that your
Yeah.
theory?
It's not a game you can win.
I think the Iron Throne's going to be destroyed, and there's no throne to win at the end.
Yeah, probably.
I don't. I'm sorry. Like I just am one of the
It's gonna be
4
the
people that don't watch the
It's
show.
going to be a new throne in Westeros.
It's gonna be a big weekend for deaths and fandoms.
Oh.
For sure. Like,
God.
truth be told.
So, do you think Game of Thrones fans would be more like me, where they just need to know who dies
No.
before they watch it, or do you think they want to watch?
They want to
So,
watch.
like, on a normal thing?
It's truly like when we're actually watching the episode, I'm gonna be very, very, very anxious.
Yeah.
I know I am.
And that's the
But-
best.
Yeah, and I'm gonna embrace it because that's what you're supposed to feel when you've been with these people for so long.
Means the story's working.
Yeah, it's the power of human connection.
I can feel all that stuff, and still no.
Which again, I can't wrap my brain around that. Like I just don't. That just does not make sense to me. But there are obviously like people who are the same way too. Like they don't mind spoilers, or like they don't care if like they read the end and then it's just a strange
also-
concept to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been the person where like if I want to get into something, like video games is a huge one. So like if
Right.
like a new back when I think it was the 3rd Assassin's Creed game was coming out or something, I had a friend who's like, I never played it, but they always looked really fun. I think I'm gonna just start with the 3rd one. You think I could just read the Wikipedia pages for the first 2? I'm like, oh, well, of course you can't just read it. And he did, but
That's what I did.
yeah, I could
'Cause
never
started
do
with
that. I could never
Origins.
do that. I have to have like the full context and momentum of everything that's happened from the beginning
Yeah.
behind it when I get to the end.
I've recently been trying to give the TV show Gotham another chance because the stuff when I've been seeing for their season finales looked really good, but I just could not get into season 1. But I did force myself to continue season 1, just so that way I can like understand like what's going on and like what these characters are like, so that way I can like them as much as possible throughout the series. And it actually benefited for me because now I think the show has improved season upon season, and I like the characters that they have for the most part.
I read
And
plot
for what that type of
synopsises
show
for that
is.
show too.
My God.
I'm not even surprised.
I just wanted to know if is it like Jerome was the Joker?
Isn't there a thumbnail of somebody who's the Joker?
Well,
Yes.
Jerome has
yeah,
like
there
a
is.
twin brother and
I don't even know
stuff.
who
and,
Jerome is.
And then
The actor
yeah.
who plays that role is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blown
You know why?
away
Because
by
I
him.
saw clips and stuff of him playing.
That's what I saw too.
And it was
yeah.
so good. I'm like, I don't want to have to watch this whole show. Let's find out if he's the
I've
Joker.
been
Ain't
able
nobody got time
to,
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first couple episodes of the first season, I just was like, man, I cannot get into this. But then I kept seeing like so much good stuff throughout the rest of the show that finally I was like, I do need to try this show again.
So
check
I read
it out.
a few of those when Jerome's character kind of like came on the scene, and
Yeah.
then it waned off. Now I have to like read a few more to recapture what happened. I know that there was a twin.
I'm like
And there
4
was,
plot
like-
synopses
I'm
behind.
actually- I'm at-
Oh,
I'm at
I've
that
got a lot
part.
of reading to
Yeah.
I have a lot of reading ahead of me.
Well, I'm watching the show and it's very enjoyable. I like watching stuff more than reading.
You have more time to watch stuff too.
Yeah, that's true.
I only got to go to the show today because I'm going to take time off work, and my son's preschool is doing a parents' night out, so he gets to stay later. So I'm like, it just
The planets
block,
aligned.
Yeah,
it was
the
meant
block
to
of
happen.
time
We should
happened.
have all taken a sick day at the office and go see this. And go see Endgame. Not Gotham or Game of Thrones.
We could have
Just
seen it
saying.
together, and then I could have been like, that was terrible. How could they do that to him?
I feel like
Brutal.
That was really
I am 100% confident that whether or not he dies or he stays alive, it's gonna be beautiful.
I mean, you guys will have to watch to
Yeah.
find out if that's true, but I certainly enjoyed
And
myself.
I love beautiful things.
I love beautiful
I'm happy.
things.
and like burning in my mouth and beautiful things. Weird.
All right, so do we want to go into trailers now, or do we have anything
Oh man.
to add on for our spoiler discussion?
I talked about the Stan Lee cameo. I really want to know Hawkeye stuff, but you're not going to tell me.
Mm-mm.
The big question I have to Google myself. I think that's it.
Don't do it.
That's it for me.
You're so close. You're so close.
Literally an hour.
Just make it a little like test of willpower. Just be like,
Yeah, she's
I
like,
wanna
that
test
test
myself."
will fail.
Yeah, I think that test will fail.
no. If you tell yourself it will, maybe.
I didn't even want to see Infinity War because I was so afraid he was going to die, but then I went and saw it in Vegas.
I
at
remember that
special
conversation.
screening.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Ugh.
I feel so so silly thinking back to it. The build up to Infinity War, where everybody's just like, "Who's gonna live? Who's gonna
Well, we
die?"
thought
And it's like I
maybe-
should have. You know, they're not gonna kill off any of the big people in the second to last film.
I thought maybe it would have ended with his funeral and like, we must avenge this. But I didn't think everybody, like half the people on Earth would die that they need to avenge.
I don't know. I'm just excited. I wish it was tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 10:45 p.m.
And I texted you.
For a second there, I was like, well, it could have been yesterday.
It could have been.
No, I waited too long.
Yeah, just get your tickets soon. Like, you have to at this point, whenever you can.
My inability to get hyped
Go
up
soon.
until the day before betrayed me. So, if I was as hyped as I am now, yes, I would have gotten the early show tickets.
We believe you. We believe you.
Well, we didn't have many other trailers to go over.
I mean,
There
with
was a-
something like Endgame, everything else is just gonna kind of
Kinda-
pale in comparison.
Oh, yeah, the trailers. Let's see.
There was no new ones except for Gemini Man.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Pretty good trailer.
With
That's-
Will Smith.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I know about that, it's Ang Lee directing it, but he's
Yep.
shooting it at 120 frames per second.
I know. And
Which-
they want,
Everyone hated when The Hobbit did it,
yeah.
and everybody hates that soap opera look on their TVs. I don't understand why.
I'm going to be honest, have not noticed a difference.
Well, you're
You
not
don't-
going to see it on the computer on YouTube trailers.
Right.
Well,
like, if
even
you go-
even seeing the Hobbit movies in theater,
Well,
I
you'd
could
have
t-
to go to a special high frame rate screening of it.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why then.
You had to go to the
You would
special
notice.
high frame rate
You would
screening.
notice.
Really?
The screen
Yeah.
has to be
Okay.
really bright. You do notice a little bit at just regular screenings because there's like more detail and clarity. Like I felt like in The Hobbit when there was some scenes where they panned, and they were walking, the
Yeah.
dwarves and the hobbits, and Bilbo was walking, and I felt like it looked like actors with fake
Yeah,
feet
that's
on.
what it does.
It like made it too realistic.
Yeah,
Should we explain what Gemini Man is about?
Yeah, it's got Will Smith, and he plays this super elite assassin, and another younger operative is trying to hunt him down. Big plot twist: it's a younger version of Will Smith,
Sounds like Looper.
sort of.
Isn't
but
it the older version is hunting the younger version down?
No, the younger version I think is hunting the older version down.
Ooh,
Really?
He's not
Oh.
respecting his elders.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah, it's like a reverse Looper then.
yeah, and then they come to find out that they created the younger operative from the older one.
I'm pretty sure this movie's been in development hell for like a decade at
Yeah.
least. Like,
It's got Clive
Oh,
Owen in
really?
it, and he's good.
Ooh, when was the last time I saw Clive Owen?
I think
King
a lot
Arthur.
of people have been asking that.
That's the last time I remember seeing him. He did that Children of Men and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it was 2004, I think. Shoot 'em up. I
He
think
was
I
in
like,
Valerian.
oh, I didn't
Was
see
he
that.
in Valerian? I
No,
don't
that's
Was
remember.
he like an alien?
Yes, he
That's
was
what
in
Silver Screen
Valerian.
Insider says.
Yes, he was in Valerian.
So I hope
That
that's
sounds
right.
like a pretty good resource.
That from what I've
So
heard.
the last time I saw him was Valerian, and before that was King Arthur
Jeez.
with Keira Knightley.
Oh, different.
I
King
saw that
Arthur.
movie
For a
on
second
an
there,
air-
I was like, Clive
I
Owen
saw that
wasn't
movie
in
on an
there.
airplane. I love Clive Owen.
Who doesn't love Clive
Shoot
Owen?
'em up is so great.
The movie shoot?
Yeah.
Okay, for a second there, I was like, do you mean in general or okay? I mean, yeah. Gemini Man's trailer looked pretty solid. It's a reverse Looper, and maybe Ang Lee will find something to make that stand out from that
Just-
movie too.
I just don't.
I don't know. Like, I don't have much else to add on there other
Right.
than I can't wait to
I don't
give it a
really
shot.
like Will Smith that much anymore. I feel like I haven't liked him that much for a while. Like since After Earth.
Maybe Aladdin
Man, that
will
still
change
has
your
a
mind.
taste in your mouth, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe Aladdin will change your mind.
No. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If
That'll be
yeah,
the
if any
performance.
role will turn me
If
around, it'll be
anything,
that
will change
one.
your mind. I mean, you can't help but hate Will Smith. He's Will Smith, you know. It's
He's just trying way too hard to be hip. He's trying
Maybe that's true.
Hey, fellow kid. Oh.
Hey, fellow young adults, go see the Gemini Man.
It's probably that YouTube Rewind video, honestly.
That we were like, nope, no more Will Smith for me.
Just be in movies and don't show yourself.
Well,
otherwise.
he's in movies and he's going to be in Gemini Man, and
I mean, it's Ang Lee, so I'm not immediately writing off the movie.
Yeah,
and since it has been in development for this long, it's probably in development before Looper was ever even a thing. So.
Possibly. I don't know the timeline between the two, but it looks interesting. I like Will Smith. Ang Lee's a good director. Let's give it a shot. Why not? It might be a surprise.
Then there were a bunch of trailers that were like second and third versions of the trailers.
Yeah, we got new trailers for The Hustle, which coincidentally was trying to cash in on the Endgame hype.
That one just made me laugh.
I mean, the stuff is funny in it, but I didn't like the Endgame.
The gimmick. They had
a lot of
they're called the
Avengers,
and they had a lot of that disappearing into dust
The
effect.
Avengers aren't even a part of Infinity War. That's a joke in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's like
wait.
they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. Someone was like,
There's the Men in Black, a new Men in Black International trailer.
Yeah.
I like that one more than the first one. That's
the biggest
for sure.
thing I took away from that is that they ripped off a joke from National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets, where she gets in the other side. She's like, I'm driving, and she gets on the wrong side.
I think that happens in just about every
but
movie
National Treasure
ever.
Book of Secrets did it first.
that one's just a treasure.
I thought that trailer was weird because it introduces that little alien sidekick character, but it looks like they literally just was like, here's the character, and they clicked and dragged it, and they're like, where are we going to put it?
They're probably not all
like,
done with the special effects.
Her shoulder, and they
Well,
just
there were a lot
put
of
it on her
special
shoulder, like creepy.
Yeah, but it's voiced by Kumail Nanjiani, and I like him.
I remember in the very first trailer, you see him for like a split second, and I thought he was just so adorable. I was like, I want more of that guy.
I mean, he's definitely going to be a hit, that's for sure.
They want him to be.
Like that's funny little sidekick.
That was what they had in mind when they wrote him.
Probably.
This is going to be a comic relief breakout character.
Yeah.
So cute. Audiences would love him.
Aside from the strange music choices in the trailer,
It was strange.
I think it looks like a good time.
Maybe
Look good.
it was strange 'cause
Comedies
it's
just have
international.
comedies have a
movie.
hard time. At least in my opinion, in my experience, comedies have a hard time selling themselves on a trailer.
True.
Just because.
At least this one has action to help,
Yeah.
up the sell on it some more.
Yeah.
Upsell.
I mean, just the idea of Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson again.
They have good chemistry.
Yeah.
Like they have good.
I mean, if it worked once, let's do it again. Yeah, I like that duo too, and it's cool that they're trying to bring back this franchise. It's a really interesting one, and hopefully it finds a similar magic to maybe the first one.
yeah.
And the ending of the third one.
Yeah, that's a good
Actually,
point too.
most of the third one. I like the third
Third
one.
one's fine. I don't know
Fight
why
me.
people hate on it. No, I'm with you, man. I don't know why. I don't know why people hate on the third one so much. It's solid.
It has 4 stars on my parents' movie guide info. You can press guide and
Oh, you can rate it yourself or something.
no, like what do they have? I think they have a Spectrum, but you can press info on the movies as you're going through the guide, and it'll give you a synopsis, and sometimes it'll give you
and then
stars.
it'll have a rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Men in Black 3 has 4 stars on there. It blew my mind. That's the highest it goes.
Well, good.
Ooh.
Because it probably deserves 4 stars.
I used to think that stuff was interesting. I push info on movies and see how many stars they had.
No, I understand. You want to know. But yeah, I don't really have much else to add on for
That was
MIB.
kind of it. It's all about Avengers.
How
Yeah.
are we supposed to talk about anything when Endgame is looming overhead?
Literally
Kyle's
hours
just
away.
sitting there like,
smug.
you guys know nothing.
So smug.
You guys know nothing. I'm sorry.
Wait till Monday morning, Kyle.
I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous to see what the reactions will be out of you guys, but it will be a very fun discussion too. That's for sure. Are we gonna do a podcast for that? You think
We are not on Monday, but on Tuesday.
on Tuesday we'll do a
I think
spoiler
it
one.
warrants us talking spoilery.
Yeah, we'll make that very clear then.
Yes.
Going in,
Yeah.
just in
Spoilery.
case if you're one of the 5 people that hasn't seen it yet,
We'll have
Serious.
so much
because
conversation.
everyone's going to see this. Yeah, I think there will be a lot. There will be a lot to talk about.
Well, on that note, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just-
Otherwise,
Cody's got to go see it in an hour.
Yeah.
and everyone else should go see it.
I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm excited.
I should sneak a bottle of wine in.
Just a bottle.
just a bottle so I can drink through my tears.
Pint of ice cream and a bottle of wine.
Erik promised me it was going to be so beautiful at the end, but it's
It
not.
is.
It's not beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful.
Guile smugly sat there and said nothing.
I can't give it away. I'm terribly sorry.
You're complicit in this.
I'm complicit. So on that note, thank you for listening, and please make sure to tell other people about our podcast, Off the Break Podcast, as well as check out our site, silverscreeninsider.com, if you're a theater owner who, could use a little extra push when it comes to marketing for yourselves and for movies that you're releasing.
It's a complicated industry out there.
Or if you want to know the true, things that happen in Avengers, the spoilers, and the true, this sucked. People, this sucked. It wasn't fun to go through.
Sure.
Blindsided.
Could do that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Eric's like, I love the chaos.
I
Bring on the chaos.
Revel in it. Okay.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.